NBC 15 News at 11 starts now.
Now at 11, we'll tell you who says our nuclear deal just announced with Iran this morning is a stunning, historic mistake. Plus, Governor Walker heads to Las Vegas today in the first full day of his campaign on the road to the White House. And investigators say El Chapo had help from inside the prison as Mexico searches for the billionaire drug lord on the lam. Hello and good morning. I'm Christine Belport. Our big story, though, at 11. The United States announced today it's reached a nuclear deal with Iran after 10 years of negotiating. The announcement has sparked some sharp criticism from Congress as well as our allies in the Middle East. NBC News correspondent Edward Lawrence has details now in Washington.
President Obama says a deal with Iran over nuclear weapons outweighs the alternative.
Why we are taking this step? Because an Iran armed with a nuclear weapon would be far more destabilizing and far more dangerous to our friends and to the world.
The U.S. worked with 5 other superpowers to come to an agreement for Iran to abandon its military nuclear program in exchange for lifting crippling economic sanctions. The nation is still on the list of state sponsors of terrorism and had ignored agreements over its nuclear program in the past.
This deal is not built on trust. It is built on verification.
Critics in Congress, along with leaders of Israel, Saudi Arabia, and other Middle East allies, wasted no time condemning the deal.
This is the most dangerous, irresponsible step I've ever seen in the history of watching the Mideast.
This does not guarantee that Iran will not achieve a nuclear weapon in the future.
Congress will have 60 days to review the deal, but the president says he will veto any bill that blocks it. Still, critics say lifting sanctions gives Iran enough money to destabilize the region.
This cash bonanza will fuel Iran's terrorism worldwide, its aggression in the region.
The president needs Congress to sign off in order to lift the economic sanctions on Iran. I'm Edward Lawrence, NBC News, Washington.
The president warned Congress Iran has enough enriched uranium to build 10 nuclear bombs. He added under this agreement, 98% of that material would be turned over to the partners in the deal. Well, switching gears now, it was a very active day of weather for us yesterday, so let's take a look outside and see what it's doing out there today. A little bit gray, but nice and warm. Charlie is here with our Tuesday forecast. Hi, Charlie.
Hello, and yeah, we have mostly cloudy skies out there right now. I think sunshine is going to be limited during the afternoon to a few breaks in the clouds here or there. Mostly cloudy skies, 81 degrees, the expected high temperature with northwesterly winds blowing throughout the afternoon. They'll become northerly later on. Clouds will break overnight tonight. A lot of sunshine on the way tomorrow. I'll have that forecast for you coming up.
Thanks, Charlie. In our continuing coverage now, summer school in Columbus is canceled again today due to storm damage. Some Columbia County residents are still without power after yesterday's storms, and one family lost their home after, look, a tree crashed into it. Fortunately, they were not hurt. And in Lone Rock, strong winds also damaged trees and knocked down power lines there. Even the town's fire chief had a tree land on his home, damaging his roof and deck. Many say this was the worst damage they've seen in their town. And new at 11 now, an appeals court just ruled the man who killed his young daughters to hurt his ex-wife was properly convicted. Aaron Schaffhausen killed his 3 girls at their Fall Rivers home in 2012. He pleaded guilty but maintained he was insane. A jury determined he was suffering from a mental disease but did not lack the capacity to understand what he did was wrong. Schaffhausen's attorney did not immediately respond to an email. Also new at 11, more fallout now from budget cuts for the UW. The University of Wisconsin Extension will reduce its staff amid the $5.2 million cut in state funding. This is the largest cut in state support it's ever faced. Now, the cut is part of the state budget signed by Governor Walker. It represents an 8% cut in state funding for UW Extension, a university system whose mission includes educating communities that lack a 4-year campus. Governor Scott Walker is making his first campaign stop today as a Republican candidate for president. The governor announced his plans yesterday in Waukesha. in his speech, he appealed to the conservative base of the Republican Party, promising to protect the unborn and repeal the Affordable Care Act on his first day of office should he be elected. Walker heads to Las Vegas today and will meet with visitors and voters at the Red Rock Harley-Davidson. And after Nevada, the governor will travel to South Carolina and Georgia tomorrow. Thursday, he'll be up in New Hampshire. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, Walker will be making the rounds in what some analysts call the critical state of Iowa. State Democrats, meantime, are reacting to Governor Walker's campaign. They say his budget here is disastrous, and the Wisconsin economy is lagging behind both the Midwest and the entire country.
He did not create those 250,000 jobs. He did not attract businesses from a state with a very different philosophy just across the river. And he absolutely has not been able to unite this state in a vision for the future.
Debates in the GOP race are expected to kick off for all 15 announced candidates next month. In a new Crime Tracker 15 alert today at 11, Madison police are investigating an attempted sexual assault. This happened around 10:30 last night along the Southwest commuter bike path. That's the area on your screen there. A 20-year-old woman said she was walking on the path when a man tried to assault her. A witness intervened and chased him away. The suspect is still on the loose. And police are looking for an inmate who has gone AWOL from the Dane County Jail. 41-year-old Connor Reardon was released from the public safety building to volunteer for Second Harvest Food Bank. Well, he didn't return yesterday. Reardon was serving a sentence on charges of forgery. Making news around the world today, authorities in Mexico continue their all-out manhunt for drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman. He escaped Saturday night from a maximum security prison. NBC's Mark Potter is near Mexico City and has more.
As the manhunt for Chapo Guzman intensifies this morning, Mexican authorities are back in the escape tunnel, gathering evidence and searching for clues. And this morning, officials have released this new picture of Guzman with less hair and upped the reward for his capture to more than $3,800,000. Two photos purportedly showing Guzman after his daring prison break are circulating on social media today. In one, he seems to be in a small plane, the other apparently holding a beer. The photos first showed up on a website, El Blog del Narco, which claims the pictures came from Guzman's son. But one official told NBC News he doubts Guzman's son would release any clues to his father's whereabouts. Tweets claiming to be from the billionaire drug lord known as Shorty appear to be from someone seemingly taunting authorities. And apparently the person behind the Twitter account is even sparring with Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump and his controversial comments about Mexicans. Trump says he's contacted the FBI about the threatening tweet, but the sentiment it expresses is consistent with Guzman's legendary bravado.
This is a man we should not revere, and at the same time, he really has built his brand on seeming both benevolent and daring, and someone who really sticks it to the system.
Investigators are now questioning more than 30 prison employees as they try to figure out exactly how Guzman made such a dramatic escape from this maximum security prison. Mark Potter, NBC News, near Mexico City.